Hey, everybody. I just wanted to give a quick 5-minute run through of the third cohort of the Minimalist Entrepreneur. Every single time it's a little bit different. This is the first time in which the book is out. And so that basically means that we'll be able to spend way more time in the course actually going through how to implement the ideas in the book instead of going through the book itself, because everyone can go read that now. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show people the format. It's 6 weeks. Every week goes through this setup where on Mondays we'll do a 2-hour session. The first hour will be live streamed on YouTube, so anyone can participate, watch and learn. And then the second hour will be private for members of the cohort. We're limiting the cohort to a maximum of 50 students per cohort. And if this fills up in February, we'll do another cohort at some point in 2022. And then Fridays will be office hours, 2 hours of office hours every week. So around 4 hours of content plus any work that you do. And so that's kind of like the weekly schedule. The first week we'll be going through business ideas and some of the sort of tools that I use to actually come up with business ideas. There's a bunch of kind of different ways to go about this. And so we'll go through a bunch of them. Then we'll talk about how I actually take the ideas and turn them into sort of tangible manifestations of them. So they're not just me blabbering, but they're actually nicely composed. I'll show you an example of one of those in here. And so this is kind of a memo that I wrote for a product that we're exploring at Gumroad, where I talk about the problem, the solution, the market, and the master plan. There's a bunch of different ways and levels of fidelity that you can get into with the memo. And so we'll go through that. And they will be good enough to raise money, like in this market, especially. Not the hardest thing in the world to do. So I will be giving all of these. I will, ask people to do them, and then I will give feedback so you can actually improve your abilities on all of these different skills, because building a business is ultimately a compound skill of these things, and a couple others. Then we'll talk about actually designing what this looks like in Figma. And so I use Figma personally. So we'll use that tool. I built this, that memo I turned into a functional prototype in 3 or 4 hours. So you can kind of go through the prototype and I, show people how to use this and all of this good stuff. We have a much nicer mock-up now internally, but we'll wait to show that once it's ready for prime time. So I'll go through that. Then we'll actually build an MVP together. I'll teach people HTML, CSS locally on your computer, and then deploying into a website. So you can go to sahillivingit.com or shl.capital or the minimalistentrepreneur.com or what have you. I'll show you how you actually, from zero, like have a presence on the internet that you own without Web3. Amazing. Then we'll talk about sales. That's like a really important part of building a business. Once you actually have like built kind of you've taken, idea, memo, design, you built the thing, at least an MVP of the thing. Now you actually have to tell people about it. And so we'll talk through how you do that. What are the different channels, actually writing the email or the DM or what have you, and giving feedback on that. And then finally, the last week, the 6th week, will be kind of going from 1 to 1,000, right? Which is like hiring people, culture, all of that stuff. And I think the best way to show folks how that happens, because it's a lot softer than some of these other things. And many people may not be ready to hire somebody right away. We'll be just showing people how I do it at Gumroad. We'll go through, let me show you right now, a little preview. We'll go through how we do OKRs and goal setting and planning. I'll talk about how we use this icebox, the different columns, the different kind of the assembly line approach that we use at Gumroad, where we go from scoping to designing to building. I have a doc here that we'll go through, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So basically the goal is from $0 to $1, from having an idea for a business to coming up with way better ideas for businesses, to actually building, prototyping, designing, and selling the business or the product, I should say, all in 6 weeks. So starting February 7th, goes until March 14th. It'll be $1,500, limited spots, 50 seats for this cohort. If there's a lot of demand, we'll do it again. We'll figure that out. But I think keeping the cohort small is going to be really important, so I can actually give feedback on all the ideas, because I think that's going to be the most useful part of this cohort, especially now that the book is out.
So thanks for watching. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always email me, sahil@hey.com, SAHIL @HEY.com, or DM me on Twitter @SHL. Thanks for listening or watching.